The story begins on New Year's Eve in 1975 at the Dante Hotel. A small boy stands among a horrifying scene of slaughter, bodies scattered everywhere, including those of his mother and father. He shakes them gently, hoping they will respond, but they remain still. As police sirens approach in the distance, he takes his father's pocket watch from the floor. An officer orders him to put down the axe in his hands. In shock, the boy keeps repeating, "It isn't their time." The camera focuses on the watch, hinting that time will be important, before shifting to the present on another New Year's Eve. A news reporter's voice announces that 12 partygoers have vanished. However, this is not happening live. It's a recording from 1975 being watched by someone. The viewer is Daniel Breer, the same child from that tragic night who once reported his parents missing. Strangely, every 12 years since the massacre, a similar event happens, and Daniel is brought in for questioning once more. It appears that something unusual keeps happening again and again, always on the same date. We then meet Goldie, an energetic and strong-willed woman speaking at a recovery meeting about her past addiction. She recalls waking up in a hospital after nearly dying and explains that she has stayed sober ever since. Now, she is in charge of planning a New Year's celebration at the Dante New Hotel, concentrating on her responsibilities rather than alcohol. The group applauds her achievement. At the hotel, Goldie reassures her boss, Amit, that preparations are going smoothly. She crosses paths with Daniel, who is holding the same antique pocket watch. He speaks about a 12-year pattern and mentions something called Judgment Night, which leaves her puzzled. After an uncomfortable conversation with Amit, Daniel advises Goldie to leave before midnight arrives. Amit tells her that Daniel resides on the 12th floor because of something that happened years ago, but says he poses no threat. Later, on the rooftop, a man meets someone dressed like the Grim Reaper. After accepting a ticket from the figure, he is abruptly shoved over the side. He plunges to his death. Goldie is later questioned by Detective Rachel, who is handling the case. Amit insists that the victim, Christoph, likely slipped by accident and claims only he and Christoph could access the roof. Rachel remains doubtful and requests to examine the security recordings. She also asks if Christoph had conflicts with anyone at work. Amit brings up Daniel's name. Soon after, Rachel encounters Daniel waiting near an elevator. He speaks little but confirms he doesn't possess a key to the rooftop. At the station, Rachel watches the rooftop footage. Just as Christoph falls, the video briefly distorts, enough to seem suspicious. She suspects the recording was altered and shows it to her superior, Detective Hector. Hector explains that years earlier, his father had investigated Daniel, but the mystery was never resolved. Now Hector finds himself dealing with the same individual and the same unanswered questions. Daniel insists he has done nothing wrong, and without proof, the police are forced to release him. Hector advises Rachel not to become too invested, yet she feels uneasy about Daniel's odd actions and dark warnings. Convinced something is off, she hands Hector a flash drive containing the footage. He checks it himself but sees nothing unusual and brushes aside her worries. Back at the hotel, Goldie learns that the event schedule is falling behind. She mentions that one of the chefs resigned after Christoph's death, though a new one has stepped in. Her coworker, EMTT, praises her for how impressive everything looks. At the same time, Rachel uncovers troubling news. Christoph's body cannot be found in any of the local morgues. The celebration at the hotel begins in full swing. Goldie welcomes guests who are dressed for the night's festivities. Daniel's quiet and distant demeanor contrasts sharply with the lively mood around him. At one moment, he approaches a couple and insists they should leave immediately. Goldie tells him he isn't invited and threatens to contact the authorities. He walks away, quietly stating, "Tonight is the night." In another part of the hotel, two trespassers named Chloe and Ronnie slip into the celebration disguised as catering workers. The Grim Reaper approaches them, gives each of them a ticket, and guides them behind a red curtain into a hidden room. The space inside looks luxurious, yet there's an uneasy feeling in the air. Chloe feels that something is wrong, but Ronnie ignores her worries. Suddenly, the Reaper shows up once more. When they attempt to run, he swings his scythe at Ronnie. The hourglass he holds reveals that their time has run out. Chloe bolts from the room, shouting for help. The guests, Goldie among them, notice her but assume she's intoxicated. Chloe rushes toward the exit, only to see the Reaper standing outside. The fence blocks her path. In the next instant, she disappears. When an employee walks past the area, there's no sign she was ever there. Quietly, the hotel sign shifts, now displaying the name Dante. Inside his room, Daniel attaches pictures of Chloe and Ronnie to the wall. He monitors the party through security cameras. Yet he isn't the sole observer. The Reaper is watching as well. Not long after, Goldie comes across Ronnie's corpse and flees in fear, just as Daniel had cautioned her. At the same time, a detective reviews archived footage of a young Daniel speaking about a shadowy being he believed caused his parents' deaths. Rachel then receives a phone call from Goldie, who says she may have details about Christoph's case. But when Rachel reaches the hotel, an unusual encounter occurs. The Grim Reaper approaches her silently and extends a ticket. Though wary, Rachel takes it. She and Goldie step into a bizarre chamber that neither of them had noticed before. The body Goldie had seen earlier has vanished. Rachel feels disturbed by this. The room is enormous, yet completely empty. Goldie confesses she only recently discovered the room's existence herself. Rachel then reveals a key detail. Decades ago, Daniel's parents vanished in this very hotel. She wonders aloud why someone would decide to live in a place marked by such tragedy. Goldie, visibly unsettled, wants to end the celebration immediately, but Rachel argues they must speak with Daniel first without causing panic. She also inquires about the person dressed as the Grim Reaper. Goldie insists she never hired him and has no idea who he is. Later, Rachel goes to Daniel's room and knocks. He answers, composed but cautious. Rachel accuses him of orchestrating the disappearances and vows to uncover the facts. Daniel laughs off her claim. He points out that even the FBI couldn't prove anything against him when he was only 12 years old. When Rachel attempts to detain him, Daniel struggles free and runs, leading to a high-stakes pursuit through the hotel corridors. Meanwhile, at the celebration, the Grim Reaper gives 2 more tickets to a couple and quietly directs them to a certain room. As they walk, the young woman examines her ticket and notices a strange note about mastering time. The pair go upstairs to play pool, enjoying themselves briefly. Without warning, the Reaper appears again. The young man suddenly collapses and dies before they understand what's happening. Terrified, the girl backs away. The elevator doors slide open, and the Reaper stands inside. She begs for mercy, insisting she's done nothing wrong, then jumps down to a lower level in an attempt to escape, but she cannot outrun fate. The Reaper's scythe strikes her. She suffers a deadly wound. Goldie and Rachel find Daniel standing next to her lifeless body. Rachel demands an explanation. He denies involvement and makes an odd remark. He says the girl should not have been present when the elevator arrived. All at once, the lights go out. When they return, both Daniel and the girl's body have vanished. A nearby door creaks open, exposing a mysterious elevator. Inside stands the same girl, just as the young man had appeared earlier. Daniel shows up in another location as Goldie and Rachel hurry toward Amit's room. Rachel forces the door open with a kick and finds blood splattered inside the room. At the same time, a mother, father, and their daughter are handed tickets by the Grim Reaper and make their way toward the swimming pool. The father and daughter jump into the water, enjoying themselves at first, until an uneasy feeling spreads. The pool water begins to ripple unnaturally. The lights above start blinking on and off. A shadowy presence moves under the surface. Daniel, gripping an axe, frightens the mother as he observes everything through the hotel's security monitors. Goldie worries that the family is in serious danger. Daniel reminds her that they chose to take the tickets on their own. The mother pleads desperately, asking him to protect her little girl. Daniel instructs them to go toward the deeper side of the pool, but suddenly the father is yanked beneath the water by an unseen force. A second presence seizes the mother as well. Daniel attempts to pull her to safety, yet both parents disappear, only to return seconds later. When they resurface, they are no longer human. He tells the daughter what has happened. He explains that the figures in front of her are not truly her parents anymore, but she refuses to accept it. Instead, she runs toward them. Rachel and Goldie rush in and arrive just in time to witness the father commit a heartbreaking act that results in his daughter's death. The Grim Reaper steps into the unsettling elevator with them. Rachel, still uncertain about Daniel's involvement, questions him once again. He insists he is not allied with the Reaper. Rachel remains doubtful. She snaps handcuffs onto his wrists and attempts to call for backup, only to realize her phone has no reception. Daniel tells her that help will not be coming. He says they are alone inside what he calls Father Time's hotel. He guides them to his room and asks Rachel to adjust the cuffs. She agrees, allowing just enough slack to bring his hands to the front. Daniel then reveals a concealed compartment in his closet that opens into a hidden surveillance space. He clarifies that he monitors only the public sections of the hotel. While watching the screens, they notice something unusual, an elevator that suddenly disappears from the cameras. Goldie sees photographs covering the wall. They are all images of people who vanished. She accuses Daniel of being responsible. He firmly denies it. He tells her those missing individuals are not his victims. A flashback uncovers what truly happened. As a child, Daniel witnessed the Grim Reaper slaughter his parents. When he turned 18, he moved into the hotel, unable to accept that they had abandoned him. By age 24, he decided to fight back. He confronted the Reaper with an axe, but the attack failed. Daniel comes to a terrifying realization. You cannot destroy something that was never alive to begin with. The Grim Reaper and Father Time are actually one ancient being, known by different titles. Rachel attempts to place him under arrest, but Daniel explains that this entity has always gathered souls and is now using the hotel as a doorway to hell. He believes the creature's strength comes from its scythe and proposes they locate the altar where souls are claimed and take the weapon. The strategy is to lure the Reaper into a portal and eliminate it, even if it means sacrifices must be made. Daniel warns that anyone present in the hotel on New Year's Eve could become prey, so the celebration has to end immediately. Meanwhile, the guests continue celebrating. A couple named Emily and her boyfriend Paul are enjoying the festivities. Unaware of the looming threat, Goldie attempts to stop the party after another alarming event, but her boss refuses to listen. The music and dancing go on. Rachel informs Amit about the deaths and the blood she found in his office, but he dismisses her claims. She then receives a call from Hector, who orders her to step away from the investigation. She chooses to ignore him. She refuses to quit. Suddenly, Daniel spots the entity moving toward an elevator. He and Rachel chase after it, but as the doors shut, Rachel becomes trapped and is violently sliced in half. Elsewhere, Father Time hands Emily and Paul a strange ticket and gestures toward a particular room. Daniel and Goldie notice something odd happening. There appear to be two versions of Emily. One of them enters a lavish room, puts on a necklace, and then sees Father Time standing behind her. The other walks into the kitchen, unseen by everyone except Paul. This second Emily looks into a mirror and sees an aged reflection of herself. She begs Father Time to make it stop, but he calmly replies that time cannot be halted. Her hand turns into grains of sand, and she disintegrates. Goldie reaches the scene, but it is already too late to save her. At the same time, the second version of Emily guides Paul into a dim storage area. She suddenly drops to the floor, then rises again speaking in a frightening, unnatural tone as she begins chasing him. She lunges at him and ends his life instantly. Later, Daniel and Goldie come across an image of a private jet. It turns out the hotel's owners are connected to several other cursed locations. Goldie questions whether there might be more than one entity known as Father Time. Daniel thinks this connection explains why deaths occur at the hotel every 12 years. They uncover a container filled with explosives and dark sand, identical to the sand inside Father Time's hourglass. Daniel intends to use it, even if innocent people get hurt. Goldie wants to protect everyone, but Daniel is determined to stop the nightmare permanently. Goldie trails Father Time into a hidden chamber. He hands her a drink that transforms into an hourglass and begins tempting her. He asks if she wants the chance to regain the years she lost. Just as he presents her with a special VIP ticket, Daniel rushes in at the perfect moment. Father Time gestures for Goldie to enter the elevator. Daniel steps inside as well, staring directly at her. He asks her if she accepted the ticket. Goldie pauses for a second. But she tells him no, she never took it. That answer is enough for Daniel. He reveals the reality of the situation. Father Time only has the power to turn the clock back by a single hour. The year that has passed cannot be restored. Those souls are gone forever. It has all been nothing more than a trick. Because Goldie never agreed to the deal, Daniel hits the emergency stop, pulls her out of the elevator, and the doors shut as he descends alone with Father Time. Down below, hidden in darkness, Daniel encounters a horrifying sight. Spirits chained to the walls, waiting to be claimed. Then he notices someone familiar, EMTT. But EMTT is no longer the same, transformed into something twisted and reborn. EMTT has become the new embodiment of Father Time. He tells Daniel that Goldie is the final soul required to unlock the gates of hell. He warns that if Daniel tries to stop it, the entire world could be destroyed. Upstairs, as the countdown to midnight begins, Goldie's time is slipping away. Father Time pressures her to accept her fate. Meanwhile, Daniel sees visions of his late parents and shares a brief moment with his father before preparing for the final confrontation. The clock hits midnight. Father Time reveals that he is truly EMTT. The entrance to hell explodes open, and dark supernatural forces storm into the celebration. Emmett seizes Goldie, but she refuses to surrender. Daniel challenges him and points out a critical loophole. Since Goldie never accepted the ticket, Father Time has no claim over her soul. Daniel grabs the special scythe ticket, allowing Goldie to break free. He then throws himself at Emmett, dragging him into the portal, and ignites the dynamite packed with black sand. An explosion follows. Suddenly, everything starts over. Goldie wakes up back at the party. Everyone is alive again. The evening has reset to the beginning. Daniel's strategy succeeded. He managed to reverse time. As Goldie walks out of the hotel, she glances up at the building. The sign above now says Dantano. Softly, she whispers, "Happy New Year." And maybe this time, it's not just the year that changed, maybe it's fate itself finally giving them a second chance.